You know how in Scientology you like go through years of their stuff and then they finally
I
bring you
don't
back?
know in Scientology. What do you, so you know how after orientation and then you get your
Wait.
booklet and then your one-on-one with Tom Cruise. What do you mean? You know in Scientology? I've never have I started a sentence with so you know in Scientology, you know. No, bitch, I don't. How do you know? Hey, everybody, welcome back to No But Seriously. We are your new favorite podcast. All things pop culture, a little bit of current events, some spooky stories sometimes, and everything in between.
Welcome. I'm Trina.
I'm Callahan.
Wait, I forgot we need to do spooky stories.
Yeah,
I think we said we were going to do it in July, but like, why wait?
why wait? I mean, we've told sprinklings of weird stuff all throughout, so who cares? We'll do it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to watch a scary movie this week and find something spooky to talk about. Because can't get much scarier than the world.
I know, right? It's escapism at its finest. It's spring, though. Happy spring. Spring
I thought we would
solstice.
never get here. I feel like a brand new person.
I'm, when they say like 60 degrees in spring is like shorts weather,
Yeah,
but 60 degrees in the fall feels so
it's
cold.
freezing.
I get it. I really do get it because we had like a sliver of sunshine the other day. It's like 20 some degrees here right now.
Oh,
But the sun's
yikes.
out. It's not snowing. It did snow last week. I was like, I mean, I'm not kidding you. When I was like, we're sweeping out the garage, we're like, I had the windows open yesterday. It's not window opening weather, but for me, I was like, it's spring. Like I felt like Belle running through the provincial town.
Wow. I feel the exact same way, but I didn't know. I selfishly forget about all the other cities and towns and places with
Yeah,
weather that's different from mine. Ugh, I couldn't
yeah.
imagine it being cold any longer. It's like 60 and I can be happier.
I have been trying to walk outside a little bit more. So where I live is quite windy. It's very windy. Um, but I was just coming out of the public library the other night and I was holding my daughter and the wind whipped so hard that she like caught her breath and was not breathing for a couple seconds and I was like it's one of those things where like at every angle I was trying to like block her but it was kind of spirally because we were in this like corridor and it doesn't matter like if it's decent outside but the wind here is truly awful like it really can just
Wow.
ruin your day like stirs stuff up and yeah so I was like well guess we're not going to be outside that much today or this weekend but I do love the sun. I'm hopeful that April is going to bring new and exciting things, not only for like, you know, some of those fun elections happening, but
Oh, I was like, what? Where is this going?
well, like, my birthday and then yours and then,
Not in April.
I know May, but still like April's I don't know. I just feel like I'm clinging to anything to be just like, "Oh my gosh, it's a rebirth, it's
Yeah,
springtime, it's
yeah.
renewal, it's everything." I mean, for crying out loud, you're celebrating Lent. That's got to be something. Like the
Don't worry.
non-Catholics are joining in, okay?
You gotta find community where you can get it.
If we've learned nothing else. Okay, I do have a question for you. Um, have you seen so there is a very scary movie coming out. Are you a go to the theater, be scared around other people kind of scary movie watcher?
Um, Not really, but I could be.
Okay. Okay. So this one is supposedly only PG-13, but it is being previewed like they're showing trailers in the middle of soccer games. And you know who watches soccer games? Not 13-year-olds, younger kids, my kid. And even my husband watched it. He's like, holy it's terrifying. Do you know what
What
I'm talking
movie is
about?
it? No.
It's The Woman in the Field. and it's horrifying.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know why they're advertising it, and they of course they play like the most salacious parts, but it
I
just
have
looks
seen
bad.
this, The Woman in the Yard. I have
Woman in
seen
the
this, but I
Yard,
haven't watched the full trailer.
probably what you've seen is enough. But yeah, so now my child is like, I just keep seeing that woman. I'm like, just keep reading till you fall asleep, buddy.
Oh no, that's sad.
Yeah,
Oh no.
I
Oh,
know.
okay.
I know. So here's the thing: you go to a theater, and if you're going there to that movie, the previews are going to be similar movies, similar like
Yeah.
ratings or whatever. But like we're just sitting here watching like Freeform, and this pops in. I'm like, NBC Sports.
Not
Why?
a Woman in the Yard preview in the middle of the Pretty Little Liars reboot.
Oh God, see, that was canceled abruptly.
There was a reboot.
There was, yeah.
Oh, I
It
didn't know
was
that.
like, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Allison was a professor at this small, not Hollis State, but
I just don't understand why they didn't call the cops. And I feel like looking at this, I don't listen. I've not seen the preview of this movie, and maybe I need to. But like, if
yeah,
there's a little woman, I don't know how little she is. If there's a woman sitting
yeah,
in my yard,
right.
head
Immediately,
to like get out of here. You got to go. And then maybe that's why I saw it and thought this isn't scary. Kick her out of here. Get her out of here. But it sounds like it is. Wait, tell me more about this preview. And I'm sorry that
I
they shouldn't be
know,
showing it to children. That's not great.
I know. But I mean, there's like a new live action Snow White, and he wants to go see that and
Much
a
better.
different movie. But he's like, do you think they'll have previews for that one there?
Oh
And I was like, no, it'll
no.
probably just be the movie poster at most. Like, you can just walk past it. I know. So now he's like, can I go without being.
Not traumatized for the
Yeah.
whole movies
He's
in
so
general. Oh
sensitive. I know. Yeah. So
no.
now he's like, I don't know if we should go. Should we wait till it's on? And I was like, buddy, I think he'll be okay. He's just very sensitive. But
Yeah. Oh no.
I know.
Maybe you can spend a lot of the preview times like getting your popcorn,
100%.
getting your
Yeah.
drinks.
Just like skedaddle past that part that has all the movie
Yeah.
posters.
Yeah.
I like scary movies. I have found that I do less gore now that I'm a little older.
Me too.
It just doesn't sit well with me. But of course, like the psychological thrillers, all those things. I watched, it's more of a crime show, but did you see Adolescence?
Mm-mm.
A lot of people are talking about it now. It's a British crime drama, limited series. I think it's like 4 episodes. And it's based on true stories that were sort of like combined to become this story. And I'm not spoiling anything because the main stars are doing this whole press tour. And essentially, it's about a young boy that murders a young girl, like young, 13, 14, like very young.
Yikes.
And why is this happening? And it had a lot of interesting themes about like the responsibility of the community as a whole. Like there were people that knew this kid was being bullied in certain ways. The parents didn't. Stuff was happening on social media. What it looked like on the outside was like this person sharing emojis, but the meaning of the emojis were like calling him an incel and like some Andrew Tate shit. Yeah. And so on the surface level, like I'm a parent of younger children, but like it's a little bit terrifying because we were that age once. We were the first generation to have like instant messaging and social media. And so now understanding like how it can be weaponized and how there's not a system really set up for children to emotionally process that, and like he ends up stabbing this girl, like not the answer, but also it's an interesting series. It's a very interesting series.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I might check that out.
Are you like revisiting some classics? What are you currently watching? Are you like into
I'm watching
Enterprise
Severance. Are you
still?
watching Severance?
I'm not. Tell me about it. I don't get it. What is Severance?
Okay, I don't know that I can explain Severance in a way that is any better at all to
Okay.
like Googling it. I don't want to like Google it, but like find a TikTok for sure. They can do it better than me. All I will tell you is that I saw a tweet long ago when it was like very, very new that said, if this show were on Hulu or Netflix, every single person would be talking about it. Like this would be that show that everyone is watching.
What is
But
Netflix?
because it was on Apple TV Plus and not a lot of people had that at the time,
Mhm.
um, not a lot of people knew about it. And that is the only thing that I saw that made me want to watch, and I was hooked from then. But it's about this world where people sever their personalities. So you have like two different consciousness is consciousness and uh, you have one for work life and one for anything outside work life. So when you are at work, you have no memory of your outside life. You don't know who your friends are, who your family are. You don't know anything. And then when you're at on the outside, not at work, you don't know anything of what happened at work at all. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know who you know. You don't like you literally don't even remember. It's like you went to sleep. Um, and
Okay, that's
there's a lot
wild.
going on.
That's wild. That's
It's
really
wild.
wild. I don't know. Like in theory, at first I was like, "Ooh, that would be, be so great." Just like clock out, literally. But I think that it's not that simple.
You must
Obviously,
watch.
I must watch. Okay, so it's is it not on Apple TV only now, or
No, it is.
it is still okay?
Yeah.
Womp womp. We'll see.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Bravo verse. Anything happening?
Have you been watching Summer House?
Yes.
Wait, okay, before we get to Summer House, and I'm going back to Andrew Tate for a second, did you see
Yeah.
that James Kennedy put a picture of Andrew Tate on his Instagram? Like they took a
No.
selfie or something
No.
at like a show. And then or like they were at like a boxing or I don't know where they were. They were somewhere. And he posted a picture of him and Andrew Tate, and then people, commented and
People.
called
People.
him out for that. And so James Kennedy was like, my bad, y'all. Like, I didn't even know that person. Like, he asked me for a picture, so I just took a picture. And Andrew Tate was like, absolutely is not what happened.
No. Really? He called him out on it.
Yes, and was like, you were trying to hang out for like, I didn't read the whole thing because, I don't really care what Andrew Tate has to say. But he basically said, that's not at all true. Um, you were trying to hang around with me. You were begging me for a picture, something like that. And I just thought it was funny because they're both terrible. Like, just be terrible together. When terrible people start to
Yes.
squabble,
Yep.
I find a lot of joy out of that.
God, he would too.
Wouldn't he?
He, like, he's so obnoxious. And honestly, like, I can't wait for the Valley to come back because at least Jax knows that he's a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
he truly does. And he makes the most lame excuses for everything. Like, I never thought that I would be excited for this show to come back. I begrudgingly watched season 1, and now I'm like, listen, could we just witness the longest pregnancy on earth? That is Kristen Doty.
Is she
And
pregnant?
she's been pregnant for 18 months.
Longer than Jessica Simpson?
So long. It feels like so. Well, here's the thing. When you have someone who announces it like 3 minutes after conception, it feels like forever. But of course, she's gotten engaged during this pregnancy and everything. Gosh,
Good for her.
there's another pregnant couple on the show, Danny.
But we don't know them from Vanderpump Rules.
No,
Oh,
no,
new people.
they're just from season 1 of The Valley. They had twin newborns last year when they were filming, and now they have another on the way. But yeah, I mean, we've got more babies on the way. We have a divorce in process. Like, it's going to be so messy. And I think Lala makes some appearances because VPR is like
Yeah, gone.
done. So yeah.
Interesting.
So it's a
Maybe I'll watch. There's only one season of it so far.
yeah,
Maybe I'll watch.
yeah.
We'll see.
It's not much, and honestly, like it's all a similar off brand of the same type of drama,
Yeah.
which maybe is why I'm sort of like milk toast about this season of Summer House. How do you think it's
What
going?
does milk toast mean? I hear people use that all the time.
Indifferent,
Oh,
like
oh,
bland, like blah. What does it
okay.
actually mean though? And it's not spelled like take a drink of milk and have a bite of toast. It's like a term. It's a word. My mom would use
Refers
it.
to timid, meek, or an unassertive person, often used as an insult to describe someone lacking boldness or character.
Well,
Is that what you're saying about yourself? Don't say that about
no,
yourself.
no, I do not mean that about myself. I mean that about this cast of characters this season. I
Oh,
think Emerald could literally not have showed up and it would be the same show. He's adding
it's been
nothing.
4 episodes.
I know, but look at what's her Lexi's already look. Bailey's come and gone.
Yeah, we're not going to
Other
see her again.
yeah, like he sneaks these women in and out, and I understand that like he wants to be low key, but like if you just want to bang all summer, don't be on a show because you're not talking about it. You're not bringing them around. We're not really seeing him interacting or doing anything at these parties. It's like Carl's coming out fiesta. It's just weird. And so I'm like, okay, you're going to talk about how you were married, but like, and then you go to these orgies and then we don't even see your game. I don't know.
I think I disagree.
Okay.
And I don't think that he's not doing those things. I think that he's getting a bad edit. And I think that Gabby has gotten a bad edit for a long time.
Every season.
Because this most recent episode, we saw Gabby was fun.
Yeah.
She was hanging out. She was interacting with everyone. And I think that Gabby's always been like that. But she's gotten a bad edit always because producers want her to be Lindsay's plus one. Like Lindsay always needs someone in her corner. So it's always going to be Gabby. It's Danielle too, but I think they know that a lot of people cannot stand Danielle. And so Lindsay needs someone, and they make Gabby be that person through editing. And I think it's not been fair to her. And like justice for our girl Gabby, she was so fun this last episode, and I think that maybe Emerald is doing that as well. Like they're really leaning into Jesse and Lexi, which they need to lean out of. They have to lean into the whole Kyle and Craig situation.
Yeah.
They still have to touch on Sierra and West because like it's still like weird. It's like there's not enough time for poor Emerald, I think.
Okay. I see your perspective. I still think he could give a little more. But I don't know what I'm not
Maybe
seeing.
he's shy. Only on TV.
He's shy. He's shy unless he's at an orgy. Sorry. Like it's gotta be leave your keys at the door party. Yeah, I mean, listen, I also think that they're making Lexi seem a little crazy when in reality it's not that bizarre if somebody's like, hey, I like to get to know people, but I'm not having sex unless we're exclusive. It's not that weird to say, um, hey, if we are dating, it would feel better to me if you tried less hard to make other girls feel good about themselves. Like, I think that in general, if you're in a relationship with someone and they're like gassing up their friends on social media, that's cool. That's fine. At a point, you look stupid that your boyfriend is like, damn girl, look at them bazookas. I'm all about like, let me put my face in them. Like, there's a line. And it's like he's single Jesse saying those things right now. So for her to be like, hey, the expectation for me if we were together is like tone that down a bit, just a bit, maybe more on my photos if you're feeling me. I don't think that's bizarre. And when people are like, "Oh, she told you to behave," what if the roles were reversed? What if she was at like a friend's bachelorette weekend and he was like, "Have fun, don't have too much fun without me," or "Behave this weekend." Something like that. It would be an off the cuff remark, no big deal. Were her friends there going, "Oh, he told you to be good." That's concerning. Pump the brakes, girl. No. They're trying to make her look a little crazy.
I kind of would hate if a man that I was not exclusively dating had the audacity to text me and say behave this weekend. That would give me the ick in me. I don't know that I
Yeah,
like it
I
from
do
either
think
one of them.
behave is a weird
They're not
word.
exclusive. And I do think that it's okay to say like this is what my expectations are
Yes.
in
Yes.
in even like a dating relation. Like I think that that's fine at all. I mean, I feel like that's fine
Yeah.
for sure.
Always.
But these people are not exclusive and have only truly known each other for probably
3 weeks.
30 business days.
Maybe not. I
And
agree.
she already met he like bringing her parents around like this is
Yeah. Okay, that part. I have a friend who like acquaintance that I knew in college. Her parents were like at everything, and yeah. But I thought it was weird then too. I think I guess for me, if I'm being filmed on a show with someone, it would cross my mind like, don't make me look stupid when I get back next weekend.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yes.
that
Also
kind of thing
yes.
to me was just like, be good. I don't know what the specific wording was, but I would feel so stupid. I just go back to the OG days. Like, do you remember Amanda coming in and like literally looking a fool, like 7 types of ways because Kyle was feral and doing who knows what. Well, we know because we kept seeing things, and then there's what we didn't see and we heard about, and whatever. They eventually figured it out, but she was the girl that would come in after hours or whatever and like stay the night with him when she was with her friends earlier in the day, whatever.
I never watched those early seasons. I only started at
Oh,
season 5 when Sierra got there.
okay. Well, that's when it really started anyway. So, yeah, Amanda was like Emerald's girls. But they
Oh,
showed
she
her.
was an original cast from the beginning.
Nope, nope. They're like
Oh.
9 years apart in age, maybe a little less, maybe 7, but there's an age gap, and so she was sort of this like young party girl is what they tried to make her seem like, but she was a successful graphic designer in the city and whatever, but they were also dating like during the week, so when they would hang out on the weekend it was a whole thing, and she made a really big point to be like, don't embarrass me, like it's either we're in a relationship and we like move forward with this or not, but it's so embarrassing to like hear these stories and then see what you've done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
I
it's
think that's a conversation that Lexi and Jesse then need to have. Because, like, you just
100%.
said it, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's do this and be exclusive or not.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're looking for two different things. Because
I
I
think
don't
they
think
are
that Jesse
too.
wants to be exclusive, but I think that Lexi would.
I think she would. And I think that he is just in a place where he's like intrigued by her and he doesn't want to limit the possibilities and then be shut down. So even in his confessionals or his interviews, and he's like, I haven't felt like this about anyone in a while, so I'm keeping that door open. It's like he's too afraid to say that he doesn't want it because he will not get any further with her.
Yeah. I think he wanted that summer to be his West 2.0 and just, like, be flirty and giggly, but not, like, do anything super serious.
Yep.
And he is now he's found himself in a situation he hot girl too close to the sun with that one.
He sure did. And honestly, like, I think if Sierra said tomorrow she would give him a chance, he would drop everything. I would put my husband on notice if Sierra
Yeah.
called me tomorrow. I'd be like, I'm sorry. Do you see her? And she's a nurse.
I think that something goes down that's not necessarily great because I hear that Lexi has been on her podcast really defending herself and not being like forthcoming with some details that like she legally can't and like share spoilers, but like
Oh.
vibes are like not seemingly not great. So
Oh
we'll
my
see.
goodness.
We
Do you
certainly will
think she
see.
finishes out the season?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, now I can't. I want to know.
Vibes about like Jesse aren't great, I think. I don't think that they make it.
Yeah, I could have put money on that one.
Turns out it's not a
Wait,
spoiler after
so
all.
F boy is gonna F up? What? That's wild. Are there any housewives updates?
Um, no, I think I'm behind on all the
Yeah.
housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the good ones I think are not
Why did I think you were going to say
on right
dead?
now.
All the good ones are dead.
All the good ones are dead. I'm not really watching Atlanta because they brought Phaedra back, and I don't know how I feel about
Mm.
that. Potomac is done. Salt Lake City is done. Beverly Hills is on, but like I'm kind of bored with it. New York is done. I didn't even watch it last season. I was bored. I heard that one was boring. Yeah, I'm behind on the Housewives.
Okay, so boring. Do you need like DUIs, arrests, drama? Do we need divorces? Do we just need people that don't really get along?
No, I don't. I'm not like here for like the fights and the arguments, even though
Yeah.
like it seems like that's all that they're doing. But like, I'm just tired of the same old like boring shit. Or like, what the fuck are we
Hmm.
talking about
Yeah.
here? Like,
Bringing up the same old fights.
yeah, just like the same old stuff. And all like like it's not. It never was like real. Like it doesn't like feel real. You know, I don't know. I feel like people should like lean more into, like Kyle. Are you caught up with Beverly Hills?
No.
Oh, I feel like people should lean more into like Kyle and like cool, not questioning her more, but like being more real with her. Long story short, last season, to be very quick, last season Kyle, like not officially separated from her husband Mauricio, but like kind of started to. She was hanging
Yeah.
out with this new friend, Morgan something, not Morgan Wallen, and I always want to say Morgan Wallen,
Ew.
but
No. No.
a country singer, and they were like
Female
hanging out all
country
the time.
singer.
Yes, and they were hanging out all the time. They were getting tattoos together, and Kyle starred in her one of her music videos, and it was like very like steamy, and there was lots of rumors about what's going on here. Are they or aren't they? What about Mauricio? And like that was a whole thing. And Kyle and Mauricio separated. Mauricio moved out of the home that they shared. A lot of their kids are
Grown.
grown and going to college and not living in the home anymore. And whatever was going on between Kyle and Morgan, I think ended. And now this season, it's Kyle realizing that she's alone in the house a lot. And it
Oh.
like
That like dream
just
house, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it seems like yesterday that it was filled with people, like all four of her kids and her husband and friends and sisters. And now that's not really what's happening anymore. Um, and Mauricio was out in Aspen, like taking pictures with Anita and all these models and
Oh my
like
god.
making out with people in the airport and getting caught at TMZ, like really like living his best bachelor life. And it very much, can you hear this?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I can hear the Uber down the street
Since
with their
when has
turn
it been
signal.
this clear?
Does she have a snuffle mat? What is she doing?
Pepper,
Like
you can't hang
Kermit?
out here anymore. It's like this bed that she has. Pepper, you can't hang out here anymore. You gotta go. You can't hang out here. Okay, so Mauricio's out here living his best bachelor life, and I think that it was one of those situations where someone in the relationship, like things are changing, and someone in the relationship is like, well, I have an itch for something new. And then when they scratch that itch and they realize, oh, just kidding, like that's not at all what happened or what was going on with my feelings. And I loved the life that we were living before. Um, People don't always wait around for you to figure that out and come to that
No.
conclusion. And now I think that she is realizing that she may have made a mistake or
Oh my god.
yeah. And I think that like I wish that we would explore that a little bit more because that
Yeah.
seems like very real and something that people experience all the time instead of like Sutton and Garcelle wanting to her mom to be nicer to her. Like
Yeah. I mean, I do think that these all started as sort of this like aspirational content where people are like, they would gawk at the wealth and the opulence and all of that, and then we dig deeper and it's like, oh, see, they're just like us, they have problems. And people would, especially like the sister dynamic when like Kim was going through things, and Kathy, who just like, wow, what a wild card. And it's like, oh, we all have someone in our family that like you can kind of say, all right, and empathize with. But then when they so blatantly like have the opportunity to talk about some deeper issues or whatever may truly be going on, but they avoid it, or they have the privilege of just like sweeping it under the rug and moving on, like whisking off to the Betty Ford Center for 60 days or whatever, like, and coming back anew. But I get it. Yeah, that sounds a little bit boring to surface level. So what you're telling me is you need a new reality show to watch.
Are you going to put me on?
The Baldwins.
No, no. They have one?
Of course, it's on TLC because it's probably trash and just ridiculous. But I guess it's already like coming unraveled, and it's Alec and Hilaria. Ilaria. How you say Ilaria? And
Wait. The only thing I know about her is that everyone is accusing her of faking her accent, and I want to know whether or not you think she's faking. Because, like, what a thing to say. And a lot of people are saying it.
yeah, so she, there's just a lot of evidence that she is putting it on.
Interesting.
And if you go back, like there's some footage of her from many years ago, and she sounds very Americanized. Like she just sounds American. She has some family from different parts of the world, but she grew up, I think, in New Jersey. So,
Do you think Dorit from Beverly Hills is faking her accent?
I don't even know what that accent is.
I don't think she does either.
I mean, like, usually when something's like really nondescript, they've either like been here for a long time, or I always just go with like South African, because that's just a weird like melting pot accent to me. But it's funny that like her accent is getting stronger as she gets older, and she made this video, I think it was during the pandemic, when she's like cooking and she's like, and we want to use how you say
Hilaria.
cucumber. Yeah.
Okay, not Dorit. Sorry.
No. So I do think that Ilaria, and again, like she grew up as Hillary, so I think it's also one of the, but she's like, oh, but at home they call me, and yeah. So I don't know. It's so fun to make fun of that. It's like, it's just a joke.
Sometimes I think like, why in the world am I so nervous, or do I like overthink doing something when there's potentially someone out here that's literally faking an accent to the whole world,
whole world poorly, because people aren't buying it. Like a lot of people aren't buying it.
And then standing in that and being like, you guys do not know what you're talking about. This is who I am. I would, as empathetic as I think I am, like I would love to understand that more. And like, maybe she's not faking, but certainly there are people out there that have faked a lot of shit, or just have like wildly blind confidence, like that kid from the Fire Festival. Like, what is going on?
I know. It is crazy. Like, you just, and we only see like the people that get caught, like, blatantly, like on the big scale. But it's wild. I mean, yeah, she married a celebrity. She was going to be in the limelight, and she's just like 10 toes down, sticking to this accent. And then, of course, they are in the midst of this, the accidental and fatal shooting on the set of Rust. And they touch on it. Like, they go over it on this like zany family reality show on TLC, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've just seen some clips. I'm not sure that I will like fully commit. I might watch an episode and suss it out, but I don't think it'll be boring. That's for sure.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
will watch on TikTok. I will watch a recap.
Yeah. Yeah. Recap.
But speaking of Baldwin's and TikTok, did you see that there was a resurfacing of a video accusing Hailey Bieber of completely planning and scheming, seems like a little strong of a word, but allegedly like doing what she can do to ensure that she's always in the same room and circle and
I've
situations as Justin.
certainly heard that that's been the case. I don't
Oh,
know what the evidence is to support it.
it has resurfaced, and they're calling it a 7-part series, but really it's just like a TikTok that someone turned into 7 parts, but it was a YouTube video that's been around for years, I guess.
Okay.
But it said, she's used to love Selena and tweeted at them, and but then would she befriended, this is all alleged obviously, she befriended a Justin Bieber stan page and would try to feed her information, but then also get information like, I hear that Justin is here, I hear that he's there, can you help me out? I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know what all the evidence is, all of it, but I just like couldn't imagine trending on anywhere, just trending for people accusing me of being a stalker for my own husband. I just don't understand how people sometimes deal with it.
Okay. This is my question. He entered into this marriage at some point seemingly willingly, right? How did she just like placed herself where he was all the time? How did she break the two of them up?
I don't think that anyone's alleging that she broke them up. I think that they had broken up and then she placed herself. Well, I think that is what they're saying. I don't think anything. I don't care about any of these people.
I don't care
But
about anyone.
that is what this video is. I believe that is what this video is alleging, that Selena and Justin broke up and then Hailey was like slid right on in there.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's, the thing is, once upon a time, I hung posters in my room as a young girl of a certain, what I believe to be heartthrob. And there were...
JTT?
Definitely. Big JTT fan. Loved
Joey
him.
McIntyre?
Always. Always Joey McIntyre. I definitely loved Taylor Hanson. And then,
Taylor Hanson was
eventually,
yeah.
I set my sights a little more refined, and I thought, who do I actually have a chance with? Because all of these girls are going for the cover photo guy, right? Like the leading man. I was more page like 33, and I said, you know what I really want? I want a funny man. I want Seth Green. I loved Seth Green for a long time.
Seth Green was really funny.
He was really funny. He was not really hot, though. But I convinced myself that he was.
Listen, that's your flavor.
Why you gotta waste my flavor? Damn!
But in my mind, I was just like, how am I going to get this guy to notice me? Because when you're like 13 years old and your hormones are just like, I'm literally going to marry him, I just have to figure out how. It's just that Hailey Bieber did it. Like, she just did the thing that we all wanted to do.
Honestly, I can't be mad at her, honestly. If I could have weaseled my way into having some of these celebrities notice me, I would have done the same thing too. Also, I do want to back up. Like,
how old was she?
Seth Green was like, I felt a little something in that Can't Hardly Wait movie. The acting was great, and his acting was phenomenal in Party Monster. But so like, don't count yourself out.
It wasn't good in Austin Powers. I'll be honest. It was not.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it wasn't cute. But that's okay.
Not everyone's great at everything.
How old was Hailey Bieber when she got married? Because I feel like maybe her frontal cortex was not fully formed. And that's where we learned that stalking doesn't equal love.
Okay. So okay, hold on. When does your frontal cortex fully develop?
25.
Okay, so she's 28 now. And she married Justin Bieber in November 2020. no, 2018. So they've been married for 6 years now.
Wow.
So she was, and they obviously dated for a couple years before that. So
Yeah.
she is 28 now. So she got married at 22.
When does your frontal cortex fully develop?
Oh, it's not 25? Let me see.
I don't
for
know.
sure.
That's my guess.
Yeah, that's right, 25.
I'm basically a neurologist, and I would like my honorary diploma now. Yeah, she didn't know better, and she started stalking him as a teenager. So I'm sorry, following his progress.
His frontal cortex wasn't developed yet either.
Listen, your spouse absolutely should be your biggest fan, but you don't have to marry your biggest fan and make them your spouse.
I see both sides, honestly. I came into this actually not seeing both sides, but now I see both sides. You really did make a point. Like, we all wanted that when we were 15.
All wanted that. She just did the damn thing.
I can't say that, who did I have a crush? My first celebrity crush was Keith Sweat, and while I didn't know what he was doing because he was far older than me, if I could have made it happen, I would have certainly.
Exactly.
Call me Mrs. Sweat. Don't ever do that.
Listen, I also didn't know that I was only going to grow to 5 feet tall, and the fact that Seth Green now stands at a stately 5'4".
Is he?
He is. It could have been perfect.
How tall is Macaulay Culkin?
I don't know. They kind of are in that same zone. But also, I ended up having ginger kids anyway.
That's funny.
How
Macaulay Culkin, I was 5'7". Because they looked similar in height in that movie that they're in together.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they were both short kings.
It's the magic of editing, I think. Maybe standing on a box half the time, like Nick
No,
Lachey.
confident short kings don't need to stand on a box. We've never seen Tom Holland on a box.
That's right. And you never will.
Never will. Never will. But Nick Lachey is not very confident, and that's why he's a loser.
As we
Allegedly.
know.
No, I'm going to stand in that. Fuck off. Nick Lachey, get off my TV screen and get off of Love is Blind.
Get off Love is Blind. No, like Sierra, hard. Just you know what? You're a loser. Your haircut sucks. Get out of here. Trisha Paytas is with child.
Again?
So someone needs to check on the royal family.
Wow.
Yeah. Baby number 3. So.
Wait, but did someone in the royal family die for baby number 2? Because we thought it was going to be Charles, and it wasn't. He's still hanging in here with us.
Did, but they ended up announcing his cancer diagnosis. So.
Oh,
And it was
yes.
around the time that Kate was like missing. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Isn't the Pope still in the hospital too? It
He
doesn't.
just
It maybe.
went home.
It maybe. I was gonna say maybe it doesn't always have to be the royal family, but just maybe someone in.
Who knows? I think she just keeps naming her children after like icons, so that also doesn't help with the lore.
Oh, who do you think she's gonna name her baby after this time?
Oh my gosh, she has already thrown out some ridiculous names.
So we have baby number 1 is Barbie, right?
Malibu Barbie.
Malibu Barbie. Baby number 2 is Elvis something.
Mm-hmm. Elvis something. I can't find it, but my biggest thing was I didn't know if the clip that I saw, if she was talking about this current pregnancy or the second one. So I didn't want to be like, oh, she's talking about this or that, because I couldn't tell. She's been pregnant for years. Like they're all so close in age. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna be the next Kardashians. Could you imagine if Trisha Paytas has just a gaggle of children and becomes the next Kris Jenner? And I mean, at this point, she has manifested everything she's ever wanted. And I
Really have.
can't believe, of all people who are living their dream, it's Trisha Paytas. Because Trisha Paytas has said some really bad things in the past. And now
I know.
she's literally living her dream. So what's going to stop her?
She apparently nothing, because even like it's wild that she has overcome resilience. The resilience of this woman is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Wild. I am thankful that I never started a YouTube channel when I had my first like starter apartment in my 20s, like for any reason, but I just like look back at some of those and I see the journey that people have come on. I watched, oh my God, some of the like original YouTube like makeup girlies and those tutorials and stuff, and they're just, it's really become something, and now
Yeah.
very unrelatable, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's my sort of news roundup of everything that I know happening in the world of guilty pleasures and removing myself from true reality.
Removing ourselves from reality is my favorite pastime. Okay, I have something that I would like to talk about, and I have a question for you.
Yeah.
But to give it a little bit of context, also to give context to our listeners, you guys, the last episode, there was like a whole 30-minute section that was cut out. And like it needed to be cut out because that episode was long enough as it was.
Yeah.
So this was a blessing in disguise. But last week we talked about something that I saw on TikTok in like at nauseum, and it was about Diddy's. There was a new charge against Diddy for necromancy, and people got confused about necrophilia. And the reason that we cut it out is because I was not very clear that that was just a rumor, and it was communicated as if this had really happened, and it didn't. And like we don't ever want to. We talk a lot of shit here, but we don't ever want to spread fake news or misinformation by any of those, by any means. So we cut it out. But it was funny and it was hilarious, and I wish that I had spoke in proper terms and made it clear that this was all alleged and all a rumor. And so I have something else that I want to talk about, but I want to make it clear that it's all alleged and all a rumor.
Okay.
The people that were talking about that necromancy thing, like they were so loud and so wrong. So I would like to have a new section called Very Loud and Maybe Wrong. Because I would like to make it clear that I don't know what is going on here. This is just something that I've seen on the internet. So, have you heard of these mermaid parties?
You said mermaid party?
Yes, a mermaid. Well, I don't know that they're called a mermaid party, but like the Hollywood elite and their mermaid activities.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Okay, so there's a few people on TikTok saying that the richest of the rich in Hollywood have been having these parties, these dinner parties, where the main course is a mermaid. They're saying that not only are mermaids real, Hollywood is eating them in secret because apparently
Yeah.
the world doesn't know that mermaids are real. They said that they have, and all of this is like, I heard from a friend, like, they signed an NDA, they couldn't say anything directly. So a friend of mine has said that they were a caterer at a party, or they were a plus one at someone else's, there was someone else's plus one to a really fancy party. And that mermaid was the main course. And clearly, without a firsthand experience, I'm not believing shit. But I would like to know your thoughts.
That's wild. I don't know. I think they're so underwater in the ocean and all of that, like we know a very small percentage of like what's actually there. We don't have the capabilities to discover much further beyond like a certain depth. Obviously some billionaires tried to do that last year and it didn't go well. But do I think that there is an entire race of like mer people that are being harvested or slaughtered or whatever for the Hollywood elites to snack on? I don't think so. I really
one part
no.
one part of the TikTok said that it was a very like eyes wide shut type of party. There were people in these masks. And like we see movies like that all the time. So I also want to know, do you think things like that happen? And if you were someone's plus one, if I was like, bitch, I'm going to this party, do you want to come? And we get a Uber Black, we roll up to this mansion, and someone in a mask comes out, opens your door, and I'm like, come on, girl, come on. Would you enter this party with me? Or would you be like, you have lost your mind?
I probably would. There's not a lot of friends that I would go in there with, but I would.
Okay, no, if it wasn't me, if it was a associate that you had only hung out with a couple times, not someone that you like.
No, I don't think I'd get in the Uber. I don't think I don't know. I feel like we'd take a Waymo there. They don't want more witnesses than needed. But also, here's the thing: we're sitting here like, that's wild, that's crazy. What is Diddy sitting in jail for right now?
That's what I'm saying. Like those parties have to exist, right? And like even like Diddy's parties is because like Diddy's a terrible person.
Yeah.
But for the rich people, if they exist and they're not terrible people, like what are they doing? Apparently eating mermaids.
I mean, I'm sure there's some like very rare and like delicacies, very rare delicacies that they serve at these places. But mermaid? Nah.
No.
I don't buy it.
I refuse to believe that Hollywood knows about mermaids before science.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
and like,
maybe there's someone out there that's like, I saw it, I knew, I was researching it, and they took away my research. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
I feel like the government would tell us about mermaids, mer people, before they told us about the aliens. And you saw, they tried to tell us about the aliens
100%.
twice and we didn't care.
They're not trying to give the people that are here equal rights. They don't want to bring another set of questions into the forum because it's just not happening.
The way this world would enslave mer people in a second, oh my god, it actually wouldn't be. I understand why they're hiding. Actually, I understand.
Yeah. You kidding me? It's labor force 2.0. Like we thought AI was going to take our jobs. There are mer people right now on treadmills underwater producing hydroelectricity, and it's going to replace carbon. Sorry.
Okay. I know that this whole episode isn't just like a whole what would you do, but what would you do? You know how
Wild.
You know how in Scientology you like go through years of their stuff and then they finally bring you back?
No, in Scientology. So you know how after orientation and then you get your booklet and then your one-on-one with Tom Cruise. What do you mean? You know in Scientology? I've never have I started a sentence with, so you know in Scientology, you know. No, bitch, I don't. How do you know?
First of all, I don't understand. You've never seen a Scientology documentary?
No.
Also, the Scientology episode of South Park is incredibly accurate.
Oh no. They're pretty spot on with a lot of things though, to be fair.
From my understanding, at like I don't know, year 4, Elizabeth Moss just did it like 3 or 4 years ago. Like you have to be in Scientology for years, and then they tell you like you've made it to this next level. Maybe it's the final level of whatever tier system they have, and they tell you this big secret about how Scientology started, and that I'm gonna mess it up. I'm not even kidding. Please watch that episode of South Park. It's not only very, I know it's South Park, but like it's educational. This particular episode is very educational. I learned a lot. And apparently they believe that on another planet, in another universe, there was overpopulation of that planet, and so they got a bunch of people together that they said they owed taxes or something, and really they shipped them out of there. They sent them to Earth, and they sent them to be in the volcanoes of Earth. And then the volcanoes erupted, and their souls went into humans, and that all of us are living with these alien souls within us, and that we need the help of Scientology and their teachings and their learnings and whatever they're doing to help clear us of these souls, which is why the documentary from Scientology is called Going Clear, that you have to like clear yourself of these alien souls. Anyways, you don't learn that until you're like years in, right? And so they bring you in and they're like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, surprise, this is what's been really going on. This is your truth. And then the person has to be like, okay, like, let's keep going. Or they are like, you guys are fucking crazy. I think there's at least one person in the Going Clear documentary that was like, I got to that point and they told me the story about the aliens. And I looked at them and I was like, are you being fucking for real? Like, all of it came crashing down for him. Anyways, I forgot my original question about the would you rather, but it had something to do with, so like, in Scientology when they do that to you and they tell you like, this is the truth. So, what was my original question? Something about the Hollywood elite parties and someone coming to you and saying like, oh, this is the truth about the mermaid. Oh my God, it was the mermaids. Oh, now that you've made it to the government, congratulations, you're vice president. Madam Vice President, we have to let you know the world is being powered by mer people that we have enslaved under the ocean. Like, what would you do?
I'd be like, I knew it. I'd call my conspiracy adjacent sister and be like, I'm sorry, I owe you a big one. You were right all along. All of it. Also, JonBenet, yeah, she's alive. She's alive and well in wherever. Because there are so many conspiracies about people just like disappearing and living on some other continent. Maybe they paid off the taxes that the Scientologists dodged, and they're living on that.
They don't need to dodge taxes, and because they're considered a church, which is why they are considered a church, so they don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, that is crazy. The more you know. What is your number one? We've talked about religious cult documentaries before, but not Scientology. So apparently, I need to brush up on my Scientology docs.
You're gonna have a good time. It's quite interesting.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I want to get to level 3000 so I can find out.
It's called like Star Commander or something.
That is so ridiculous.
Just watch the episode of South Park. Really, it's 30 minutes of your time. You'll learn a lot, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the South Park route.
I'm about to go watch it right now.
Well, I'm not going to ask Google because the AI overviews are leaving a bit to be desired.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll come back next week with our favorite cult. Yeah. We'll play catch up on the Scientologists of the world. And hopefully we won't get sent a letter for talking about them. Until then, you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at no.bs.pod. And you can listen to us wherever you find your podcasts, including YouTube. If you want to send us a letter, you can find that form in our link in bio and in the description. We'll put it in the description as well. And we want to hear about your favorite conspiracies. Do you believe in mermaids? Do you believe that Hollywood is eating the mermaids? And are you a Scientologist? If you are, don't tell Tom Cruise.